So there's a lot that's going on in my mind at the moment. Even when some parts of me feel like very stable and unchanged, I feel like inside everything is in flux. I feel both simultaneously grounded more and more in who I am and yet totally lost at the same time. And I can feel that it's really this great moment of transition in my life. And in the process of writing this post, I was able to remind myself of the importance of a moment like this, to take time to sit with this uncomfortable feeling that I have of feeling lost in the right direction. So 2 weekends ago, after about 10 years of waiting, I actually got to finally sit down with Mother Ayahuasca. So many of those reading or watching don't actually know the spiritual side of me because it's a really deeply personal part of my being. And I've been working with plant medicines for a couple of years now, in addition to things like therapy and coaching and other healing modalities. And now I know there's a lot of ideas and opinions and things that you can read online about things like ayahuasca. But for me, it was really one of the most beautiful and transformative experiences of my life. But as you learn in those ceremonies, as with life, is that it's not without its challenges. So pain and fear and discomfort are all key parts of an ayahuasca experience, both before and during the ceremony and after, during the weeks of integration. You see your life sort of starting to shift significantly after you have an experience like this, and some things start to become clearer than ever before, and other things are put into question. But there's a certain trust in the process and the medicine that you have to have in order to allow the dust to settle around you and let life fall back into place. So today's newsletter is a part of that integration process for me. It's a reminder for both myself and for others that I need to learn how to make friends with fear and pain, especially in these moments of great transformation. It's a reminder of the inseparability of fear and pain when it comes to change and growth. And really, this post is an ode to all of the times in my life that I've had the courage to step into the unknown, because this is the courage I'm calling on now. You can always watch the post as you are right now, or you can read the newsletter in full. I've also included a couple journaling prompts, this time no meditation, but actually a video from a spoken word poem that I wrote called Transitions, all about this very moment right here. As always, I deeply appreciate you taking the time to read, to comment, to share with friends. Any feedback or topic suggestions are always welcome. Other than that, I hope you enjoy this piece. Life always seems to come in cycles. There are moments of chaos and moments of peace. There are moments of excitement and moments of boredom. There are moments where everything seems like it's going wrong, and moments where it seems like everything is starting to fall into place. The ironic thing, though, is that often things must feel like they're starting to fall apart in order for them to fall into place. This is the essence of transformation. Transformation, we all know, can be fucking painful. It is by nature uncomfortable as hell. Why? Because in these moments of transformation, that illusion of control that we so desperately cling to is punctured, and we look around us and think, holy shit, what the fuck is happening? We realize we have no control over the situation, no real say in how everything will unfold. And it's in these moments of uncertainty that all of the shit from our past that we keep under lock and key bubble up to the surface, and we're confronted with our deepest fears, anxieties, wounds, and traumas. That confrontation is painful. And while all we want is to do something to alleviate that pain, that fear, that discomfort, really there's nothing to do in that moment that would make the transformation come more quickly. And that sucks. Yeah, transformation kind of does suck sometimes. I have felt this many times in my life. I felt this when I had to open up the Pandora's box and having surgeries again. I felt this in moments where my relationship with Mike was on the rocks. I felt this when loved ones died or when I lost good friends. I felt this when I lost my job, when I moved to Australia, when I moved to Germany. I feel this now really in every new creative endeavor, in building a business and transforming my relationships. But as painful and as uncomfortable as these moments have been, they were all great moments of transformation. Moments where I knew that the future and the person that I was stepping into would be fundamentally different than what I expected, and would be vastly different from the current state that I was in. They were moments that I knew that once I stepped through that door, there was no going back, no undoing what was done. And yet they were all moments where I was able to connect deeply with myself. And I emerged stronger and more in line with the woman that I truly wanted to be. But damn if they weren't hard. And if I'm being completely honest, I kind of feel like I'm currently in one of those uncomfortable moments. I feel like in some parts of my life, the rug has been kind of pulled out and everything is spinning and swirling around me. I have no idea what my life will look like in 1 month, much less 1 year. The physical and emotional discomfort is so real. I feel like I'm getting stretched further than I knew I was capable of. And sometimes it's hard to maintain this sense of trust in the process and to let it all fall apart so that it can fall into place. Sometimes it's hard not to get pulled into the vortex of fear or swallowed by the uncomfortable pain of transformation. There are moments when I'm good at it, and there's moments when I'm terrible at it. But I'm trying to remember that these feelings of fear and pain are not only necessary, but essential parts of transformation and essential parts of this transformational moment that I find myself in. So I hate to break it to you, because I sure as hell don't want it to be true. But fear and pain are the essential ingredients of transformation. But let's all agree that they fucking suck. It's no wonder why we try to set our society up to avoid fear and pain and discomfort. It's no wonder we try to lessen fear by setting up systems like health insurance, like safety regulations, like legal frameworks, even something like marriage. And we try to limit and control our contact with pain and discomfort by creating things like climate-controlled buildings, locking away the elderly in homes out of view, providing trigger warnings, and over-medicating the moment we feel unwell. One would think that with all of these efforts to avoid fear and discomfort would mean that we would be happier and more comfortable. Yet fear and discomfort are on the rise despite our best efforts. Fear of death, fear of failure, fear of abandonment, fear of loss, of embarrassment, and fear of pain itself are all too present in our everyday life. And our tolerance of emotional and physical discomfort are at an all-time low. The problem is that it's impossible to avoid fear and discomfort when it comes to change. Although our minds are wired to want to keep things predictable and the same, in life, change is constant, which means fear and discomfort are constant. It's easy to try and wiggle out of the uncomfortable emotions of fear and pain by trying to ignore them, numb them, or to create an illusion of predictability and safety. And yet fear and discomfort will continue to linger in life. This is because in life we have too many unknowns, and fear and pain are part and parcel to walking into the unknown. But here's the uncomfortable truth. On the other side of that fear and discomfort lies exactly what it is that we all seek. On the other side lies true joy, happiness, love, beauty, and above all, freedom. On the other side exists the version of ourselves and our lives that we so deeply desire. This is the reminder that I am now using this whole Substack newsletter to unpack and accept in my own brain so that I can have more courage in my own moment of uncertainty. And that in order to get to where I want to go, in order to transform myself and my life, I have to be willing to make friends with fear and pain. And I hate to be the one to tell you this, but so do you. It's easy to mistake fear and pain as one and the same, but they really are two distinct layers that we must navigate through as a part of any transformation process. Transformation means stepping into the unknown, and the first layer that we must wade through when stepping into the unknown is the layer of fear. When we're confronted with fear, this is often where we are tempted to turn around and run in the other direction. Why? Well, because it's fucking scary, right? And in our reptilian brains, we often mistake fear as a sign of danger. But if this were actually true, fear would theoretically decrease as safety increases. Yeah, okay, to a certain extent, this is true. However, when we look around us, even when the world has continued to actually get safer and safer in many regards, fear in our own minds still follows us. So then what is fear actually? Well, it is nothing more than just a signal for the unknown. Yes, the unknown can still be dangerous, but it can also be amazing. Through fear, we leave our known world and we step into the world of excitement and adventure. This newness is what truly satisfies us as human beings. We need fear to be creative, to find solutions and possible paths that we hadn't considered, to find and follow our purpose, to be able to love unconditionally. to face uncertainty and to remain open to the mysterious, and to go beyond our boundaries and grow beyond ourselves. The power of fear is transformation, because we need courage and a willingness to enter into unknown realms. But it is through this entering that we experience the explosive power that shifts our boundaries. Fear is the ultimate thing that carries us across the threshold between who we once were into who we are becoming. Fear invites us to move beyond the boundaries of what we know and embark on a new journey to an unknown destination. When we try and avoid this fear, it prevents us from embarking on that journey. It keeps us stuck in the same old patterns. It runs our lives from our subconscious, causing us to avoid the very things that we most deeply desire, which is that love, that adventure, that connection, purpose, growth, evolution. So we must learn to make friends with fear. We must learn to not see the moment of fear as indicators of something dangerous that needs to be avoided, but simply as an emotion that is tied to something that is unknown. We must practice with small steps, day by day, walking towards things that scare us. We must learn to trust our own capabilities, that even when we are faced with the unknowns, we will always find a way through the fear. So if we're able to make friends with fear, then we're able to open ourselves up to the possibility of experiencing the explosive power that shifts our boundaries. But what happens then when the shift actually does occur? What happens when we start to get pushed past whatever comfort we became accustomed to, past even our outer limits that we thought we would never push past? What happens when life throws us something that is so completely unexpected that we never could have predicted in our wildest dreams? That defies all rhyme or reason, something that blows up any ideas we once had about how our life is supposed to be. When we are shaken to our core like this, we get to experience the second layer of transformation, the gift of pain. We're never really taught to sit with, much less welcome, pain. And why would we? I mean, pain fucking sucks. Yet pain is indispensable when it comes to transformation. Discomfort is essential. Why? Because pain is the great catalyst for action and evolution. And pain is the price that we all must pay for freedom. The moment we are willing to pay that price is the moment that we no longer have to be afraid of it. But Kelsey, not all pain is good, right? Well, I would argue even the deepest of emotional, spiritual, and physical pain, there are possibilities for transformation. Whether it's in the experiencing of pain or in the letting go of it, pain is one of life's greatest teachers. It's an essential component of transformation. So the practice is remaining open to it. The emotional pain and discomfort we feel is usually nothing more than an inner experience, an energy passing through the heart. Yes, we are tempted to close our hearts and avoid pain, but by closing, we not only unsuccessfully keep pain out, but more importantly, we end up keeping old pain stored inside. That pain that is stored inside is the weight that we carry with us in our everyday. It's a part of us that flares up when something goes wrong, where the worst aspects about us rear their ugly heads. And it's the part we so desperately want to be free from, but so desperately hold on to because it's often all we've ever known. So here's the deal. If we want to be free, and I mean really feel free, we must first accept that there is pain in our hearts, and that pain is a part of the process. Just as with fear, we cannot go above, under, below, or around pain, but instead we must go straight through. Why? Well, because on the other side of that pain is happiness, is love, is beauty. On the other side is freedom. So the question is not how do we avoid pain, but how do we learn to relax into the pain? Well, instead of contracting and closing, we practice relaxing and releasing when we feel those moments of pain. Whether it's in sports or at work or at home or in your own mind, ask yourself, can I relax my heart until I'm actually face to face with the exact place where it hurts? Can I feel into the worry, into the angst, into the fear, into the discomfort, and still find relaxation in it all? It might at first feel impossible, but this is why we must practice. Once we're able to feel into the pain, we experience a moment of expansion and a letting go. If you've never felt it, it's hard to believe, but it's one of the greatest lessons that I have learned is that in moments where I relaxed into my pain, where I let go of needing to control it or to do something to alleviate it, were the exact moments I could start releasing it and move beyond it. So in these moments of great change in my life, I often need to remind myself of the essential nature of these two layers to spiritual growth and transformation, fear and pain. Without them, we would lack a certain vitality that allows us to grow and be creative. Without them, we would not be able to move beyond the boundaries of our known world and enter into territories and embark on new adventures. Without them, our lives would stay the same. We would stay the same. But with them, the possibility for unconditional joy, love, and beauty open up to us. With them, we get to experience what it means to truly be free. But there's always a price that must be paid for something as valuable as freedom, and a heavy price to pay for choosing to stay trapped. Because don't be fooled. By choosing to avoid fear and pain, you're choosing to remain trapped in the jail of your own emotions. However, if you choose to move towards the fear, the greatest spiritual growth occurs in the moment when you are consciously willing to pay the price of freedom. So to wrap, I wanted to leave you with one final thought. About 6 months ago, I actually wrote this poem for my sister who was going through a transformation phase herself. Little did I know I would actually need my own words now more than ever. You can actually find the full poem at the bottom of this post, but here's the last stanza to my poem Transitions. So step in. Step into the discomfort. Step in boldly, swiftly, and let yourself be swept away. Because this moment will surely change, just as all those that came before it. And it's up to you to choose. Do you hang on and drown? Or do you let go and trust that you were born to ride these waves?